Dear Journal, why are Adventure Labs part of geocaching? I'm at Washington's Crossing Park in New Jersey again because I thought I had that area clear of caches, but then I see a mystery has appeared, and it turns out to be an Adventure Lab bonus cache. Well, I really want to keep that area clear, as us geocachers are prone to do, so I'll bite. Any reason to visit the park that has the old outdoor theater, which now appears abandoned, making it 10 times cooler, and is not part of the Adventure Lab, but a great place to talk about them. Please keep in mind that this is not an Adventure Lab bashing entry. It's just, to me, they seem rather pointless. Well, to geocaching. Yes, I know, my opinion. My opinion is that they are pointless to the average player, and I like to think of myself as the average Joe geocacher. I could have sworn lab caches were these physical caches that got trotted out during events, but it's not exactly something I was paying attention to back then. Now there are tours. The app, the setup, the execution, it seems like these things are geared towards a never difficult, Norman-friendly way to take people on a self-guided tour. I don't think it's bad, and the app itself seems solid enough, but why did you mix it in with geocaching, HQ? Why do the tour stops count as fines? Why didn't you roll virtual caches and earth caches into it, or even mystery caches? They all seem like they would benefit from what the app can do regarding geofencing, media embedding, and question input fields. Why didn't you integrate that with your existing app? Why did you, HQ, include the incentive of each tour stop counting as a fine on the geocaching site? Now, I apologize if I jump around a bit here because I have no background in business. I'm obviously not in the know as far as the back end of geocaching, the bells and whistles that make it all work, so I fully admit I'm speculating here, not just for entertainment value, but because I also believe it might be true. And if it is, I can be like, aha! I knew it! And if not, then I just unlist this video. If you think about it, HQ probably has one of the larger databases of people that are geared towards going out, traveling, and exploring new places. I'm sure that data is valuable, but I don't believe that they're doing shady things with it. From a business standpoint, if you're sitting on this potential gold mine, then premium is only one shaft into the gold mine. You want more than one shaft though, don't you? I know I love multiple shafts. I can't imagine their official shop is pulling in the bucks. But what if you created another app, another game, based entirely off the cashless portion of the game that you already have a user base for, design it to be self-guiding tours. Let the users generate and take part of all these new tours, rewarding them with fines in their other game, and then after it's established, use all those booming Adventure Labs to show businesses and organizations that you have not just an existing user base to this app, but the user base generates its own content. And guess what? It's also super friendly to people that don't geocache because you don't actually have to find a cache. So why don't you do a partnership with us and we can get people going to where you want them to go? These organizations seem to have done it already. Look at all these sponsored Adventure Labs. I have no idea how this partnership works, if there's any money to be had, if there's advertising involved. Does someone at HQ create an Adventure Lab for these people? Or do these people create one and HQ promotes it? I'm not sure, but when I look at this part of the Adventure Lab page, on the geocaching page, it sure does seem like it's not that much of a stretch to imagine, hey, welcome to the Coca-Cola presents the Coca-Cola Geocaching Tour by Coca-Cola, sponsored by Lockheed Martin. So, now that you've heard my wild and crazy speculations, I ask again, because Adventure Labs, as they are, conflict with geocaching, why are they a part of geocaching? It says right here on the Geocaching Adventure Labs page that organizations looking to create an experiential recreation and marketing program can partner with us. And then over here on the Geocaching Do's and Don'ts page, they pretty much say, don't do anything that requires players to interact with businesses, agencies, commercial advertisers, or charities. Why? Why are Adventure Labs part of geocaching? Don't get me wrong, I want HQ to make money where they can. I support their business, and I know us customers are fickle people. And I'm not saying I outright dislike Adventure Labs, I just think they're confusing redundancy. Why were virtuals phased out, then sort of let back in a limited manner, and then Adventure Labs came out? It's a whole separate app from the geocaching one. It's separate, but it's not, because they're still equal fines. They're virtuals, but they're not, because they're still releasing limited virtuals, but if you string 5 virtuals together, you can get an Adventure Lab. Separate, but equal. Geocaching is trying to bring back segregation. No. Full disclosure, I could just be pissed off at Adventure Labs. Previous to this one here in Washington's Crossing, I did one that was absolute shit. It doesn't look like any thought was put into it, as every stage just said, see sign, and at the sign the questions are word for word, on the signs. No, the area is beautiful, yes, but the Adventure Lab is shit. There's nothing additional to learn that can't be gleaned from walking down the path and reading the signs on your own. It doesn't take you anywhere off the beaten path, and the whole thing is the most minimal effort for an Adventure Lab possible. Now, I've done other tours, Adventure Labs, that were clearly well thought out and took me to interesting places and filled me with interesting info I would not have otherwise received or looked into. This one here at Washington's Crossing is alright. My only gripe is that after spending all the time in the park, I get the info for the listed Mystery Adventure Lab bonus cache, also shown on park grounds, but the new coordinates take you out of the park to the CO's friggin' mailbox! I usually avoid these personal homestead caches, but I put some effort into the Adventure Lab, so I thought, I'll give this a shot. And I failed. I know I'm there, but I feel like I'm breaking federal laws. Why would you want people to go where your mail is? I know, this is my problem, a whole other can of worms, but I got wigged out. My search was half-hearted as I really didn't want to risk contact with other humans, so I left. DNF on the actual cache, but hey, at least I got 5 virtuals out of it.